And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Rachel Zegler's Snow White is quickly transforming from a fairy tale into a flop, with ticket sales plummeting faster than the evil queen off a cliff. Zegler isn't exactly having a fairy tale moment. She's facing mounting backlash as the film's reception hits a fever pitch. It seems like the project might be a career ender for her, as this box office disaster takes the crown for the month's biggest bomb.
Snow White bombs, breaks records for the lowest live-action remake opening ever. Let me say that again. Ever.
Remember when Rachel Zegler acted like she had a magic wand that would make everyone line up to see Snow White? Turns out, the only thing she's waving around is a career at risk, as ticket sales for her latest film plummet. This week, Disney's mood was anything but magical as Snow White stumbled out of the gate, bringing in a disappointing $43 million domestically, well below expectations. And it didn't fare much better internationally, where it was expected to cross the $100 million mark but instead barely scraped by with $87.3 million worldwide. Now that's how you create a historical flop. Just when Disney executives thought things couldn't get worse, new figures painted an even bleaker picture. The domestic opening dipped further to $42.2 million, while the global total barely hit $86.1 million, according to Comscore. Normally, numbers like these wouldn't spell disaster for a movie aimed at female audiences, especially with a bit of creative marketing. But Snow White is deep in flop territory, thanks to its jaw-dropping $270 million production budget and an additional $100 million in marketing costs. Do the math. That's a financial mountain even a Disney princess might struggle to climb. With lackluster ticket sales and mixed reviews, insiders now say the film might be lucky to hit $300 million or $400 million worldwide. And to make matters worse, Disney's not going to see a penny of the hundreds of millions it spent. The movie actually needs to hit at least $500 million just to break even. And by the looks of it, Zegler isn't exactly helping her studio turn things around. In fact, the West Side Story actress can't seem to stop getting into petty feuds with her own fans. Oh yes, it's a mess. Grab a cup of tea because this one's going to get even hotter.
I'm a narcissist.
Of course, Disney diehards are still clinging to hope. After all, if anyone can pull off a fairy tale comeback, it's the House of Mouse. Take Mufasa, The Lion King. It was initially written off as a flop when it opened to just $5.4 million domestically in December 2024. But then it skyrocketed, multiplying that number by 7 and roaring to $718 million globally. However, let's be real. No one from the Mufasa cast was out there causing a PR disaster. Disney had the image tightly under control, and they certainly didn't have a 23-year-old actress like Rachel Zegler, who's been a walking headline for all the wrong reasons. She's certainly not helping herself or the studio, and let's be honest, Zegler's in some seriously hot water. It's starting to look like her time in the Disney spotlight might be over. In fact, insiders are saying Zegler's already been let go. The magic is definitely fading.
I think it's fair to say that no one on the right side of America can stand the star of this movie.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the most replaceable of them all? If the latest Hollywood buzz is anything to go by, Rachel Zegler might not like the answer. Word on the street is that Disney has quietly shown her the castle gates, allegedly cutting ties after the disastrous reception of Snow White. It seems all the shade she threw at the original film didn't come with a happily ever after. Forget Snow White versus the evil queen. This is the real battle no one expected. A billion-dollar media giant being outplayed by a young actress who once snagged a Golden Globe for her stellar performance in West Side Story. But Zegler is proof that one big misstep can send you straight to the forgotten list, even if you were once seen as the industry's next big thing. Disney's biggest nightmare. Turns out, it's a promising star whose career went off the rails. Now, it looks like Zegler might be out of work for a long time. From the moment she was cast, controversy followed her like an evil queen's curse. Fans were already skeptical about Disney casting a Latina actress in the role, but Zegler only made things worse with her outspoken opinions on the original film.
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true.
She didn't exactly help her case when she called the classic storyline weird, labeled the prince a stalker, and made it clear that her version of Snow White was way too independent to be saved by any lovelorn royal. Zegler's vocal criticism of the original Snow White rubbed many fans the wrong way, especially when it came to the heart of the fairy tale. Instead of embracing the legacy of the story, she seemed intent on distancing herself from it. And that definitely didn't win her any favor, either with the fans or with Disney. Now, that attitude seems to have caught up with her.
You know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird. So we didn't do that this time.
As if things weren't bad enough, Zegler doubled down in a now-deleted post, clapping back at critics with, "Yes, I am Snow White. No, I am not bleaching my skin for the role." While that post is gone, the backlash has been etched in stone. According to reports from Page 6, Disney's executives are scrambling, having no idea how to rein in their out-of-control leading lady. An insider revealed that Disney execs have been calling her directly, pleading with her to tone it down. But Rachel apparently wasn't keen on taking orders, even from the House of Mouse. The situation had reached a boiling point, so top Disney brass hopped on their private jet and flew to meet Zegler face-to-face. They explained to her the stakes. If she wanted the movie to succeed and remain a relevant Snow White, she needed to stick to the PR script. Zegler agreed, at least for a moment. She promised to cool it on social media, to stop posting about controversial topics, especially anything that might upset conservatives. But just weeks later, Zegler opened her phone again and, predictably, did the exact opposite of what she had agreed to. She went after Trump voters, only to later walk back her comments. It's becoming clear that, no matter what Disney tried, Zegler's impulsive social media habits continue to make her a PR nightmare.